Welcome back, everybody. Smokestrider here. We are right where we left off in the last episode. We just attended our sister Mary's funeral, which is, you know, kind of sad. But now we need to go to the church and confess our sins to the douchebag of a priest. Sorry, I don't like Father Whitaker.
Burn it, boys!
Ow! Not allowed to bring a shotgun to a bludgeon fight. It's not okay. Feasty, feasty, feasty time. Ow, ow. Okay, and this should end him. Or not. It's always so close, but yet so far. Alright, we're also going to...
And off to church he goes, a newborn seeking divine consent to lick the blood from the soft and pointy crown.
Who are you? Make yourself known.
Newborn, you reek of guilt and pointless compassion. Shed your skin, forget your old weaker self.
What do you want from me?
Oh, he's big.
Ascalon does not approve of lone wolves who bring unwanted eyes to our pastures.
So your name is Ascalon.
Ascalon's will is vampire law. Learn them, abide by them, or I shall return as your judge and jury.
He is massive.
These immortals try my patience with their plans and unsolicited counsel.
Like, straight up freaking fridge. He's like Shaq. Or who's some other really big basketball player. Alright, finish this guy. See, sometimes it actually does, sometimes it doesn't. But either way, let's continue on. Need to go talk with Father Whitaker. Tell him about his missing... Well, tell him about Samuel. How he's, you know, dead now. We also need to figure out whose scarf it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the woman's.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Yeah.
Do you know that Christina is hoping to pay for her brother to travel to England in the near future?
I see. No, she didn't tell me that. But that explains many things.
Do you believe she will ever see her brother again?
As long as the war rages in Europe, I'm afraid her chances of seeing her brother again are slim to none.
Have you any news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I'll never know what goes on in that place. But as long as people are getting better, I'll stop investigating her.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Alright, so asking him isn't the right thing. Let's ask Christina directly.
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
No.
Could this be the scarf you lost, Miss Popper?
It is much more than a scarf to me. It is the only thing that connects me to my family and my country. Thank you so much.
Alright.
Goodbye, miss.
So that's that. We have... Who's the guy with the migraine? Oh, that's right. The migraine guy is over this way. There's also that one guy we rescued. but he won't show up until we rest again. So yeah, but we'll give this guy treatment for migraine, and then we'll go talk to Whitaker.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you? You don't seem well.
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
Well,
I can try to help your body heal, sir, but you must stop destroying it.
The war destroyed.
there you
A
go.
gun, alcohol.
Treatment for migraine, plus 50 XP. Nice.
The Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems.
Oh, you're the wife of the blind guy. Okay.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right? It's not my call, Barrett. You pay.
Hello,
Your home
Whitaker.
will not protect you.
Good evening, Mr. Whitaker.
It's Father Whitaker, my son.
I have
Found your
found
disciple.
Samuel, your disciple. I am afraid I have bad news.
I already expected the worst. He should already have come back. He is dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is now. The epidemic took him.
Samuel steadily made donations to our cause. He would have rewarded you himself if you'd found me in that awful cemetery. Please accept this money.
I have had enough for tonight.
Alright, and we need to go maybe around back to do our little bit of confession. Ow. Right. Take these guys out. Ow! Stop biting me. You meanie. And he bit me. Y'all are mean. You know that? There we go. Leave me alone. Alright. Not here. Maybe through here. Okay, I guess it's right there. Just run around the whole church, why don't we? Yeah.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage. yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Hopefully this helps you, Jonathan.
There. I confessed to that vicar. Do I feel better? Only time will tell.
Alright. Yeah, let's just go ahead and head down this road to get back to the hospital. Is it just me, or am I walking more slowly? Okay. Thank you very much, sir. May I have another? You just beat me to death. I think I might have pressed a button that makes me walk slower, and I have no idea which it is. Yeah, I must have pressed something. Was it? What was it? B. B makes you walk slow. Good to know. It also allows me to do the stunning thing and start the fight with the feed. Which, honestly, I don't need since I have the, bludgeon. And just stunning them doesn't really do any damage to them. So it's better to use my bludgeon to stun them and deal damage. Where's my money, man? Where's my money? Give it to me. Bust your legs up.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
He's got horns.
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
Sure as hell would abandon me.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
You selected me, chose me.
As shall my children yet to come.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
The heck? Speak plainly!
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave.
Alright, so what is our current objective?
So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Alright, so I think we're gonna rest and level up. Got over 4,000 XP, so I think it would be a good idea. We unlock this at level 10. Let's increase our health for 600. That gives us level 10. I want to do the blood cauldron, I think. So we'll upgrade that. You focus your power to boil the target's blood, causing it to violently explode, dealing damage to the target and anything nearby. Could level it up again, but I think I would be better assisted if I leveled up some of my other stuff first. Such as some of the regen. Let's get it up to level 4. Get some of these basic stuff. Let's increase our blood capacity a little bit. And we're... Big Thirst increases blood absorption. I don't really use guns all that often, so I don't think this would be super useful. So I don't think I'm ever going to put any points into that, but Big Thirst sounds like it would be good. Increase the amount of blood I get from drinking people in combat, so... There. Alright. Feudal police raids in Whitechapel. As of late, the rumors that surround Whitechapel are ripening into facts. In the last 3 months, the police have suspected the district of hosting what might be the heart of London's medical black market. But of course, these suspicions will remain assumptions, for no task force or additional police presence has been sent to Whitechapel. No large drug stocks have been found, nor no crime lords arrested. This masquerade has only been planned as a desperate attempt to conceal the blatant incompetence of the London City Council's Board of Health, by giving the populace a cheap and easy victory while the epidemic spreads more and more each day. Worst of all, when you take time to review the most recent statistics, you discover that the district of Whitechapel is coping with the disease much better than the other parts of the city. Is it a miracle? Evidence of the activity of an illegal but efficient medical underground? More proof of the authorities' criminal incompetence? All I know is this. If a Londoner has a better chance to survive the epidemic by choosing to live in this godforsaken borough, I'm ready to move to any cheap, flea-infested flat some shady landlord will agree to rent to me right now. SLA. And your actions have impacted the borough's economy. And that's the major event. Alright. Let's also check out... Okay, so he has a headache. We can go treat that. that's the other district. This one's stable. Migraine and a cold. And we haven't met anybody there. Alright. So, we've leveled up. Let's refill ammo. We don't need to, actually. What's that? Widow in distress. Convince Xiao Xun to go back to Whitechapel. That'll be good. So now there's now a third merchant. We of course have our 2 here. I think we'll go talk with the widow real quick. Convince her to head home. Because she is in a very dangerous area and I don't want her to end up dying on us. So we'll go convince her to leave real quick. Or as quick as we can. It's back here. Oh, big building. Nice. Anything of interest in here? Oh, there's a door. Can we go in? Yes. Oh, these are the people that are watching, aren't they? Because it just upgraded an investigation. That was... Well, that was easy. Where's my easy button? I need it. "25th of October from Guard of Prewind Command Post to East End Patrols. Object Vampire Activity Hospital. Survey Investigate. 3 days ago, one of our new recruits heard a rumor about the presence of a female vampire hiding in the Pembroke Hospital, London, East End. All we have is her first name, Thelma. Your mission is to discreetly go there and to observe any suspicious activity concerning said leech, then report directly back to us and we will decide what action should be taken." Thelma Howcroft. Investigation updated. So now we'll go talk to Xiao Xun. Convince her to go home to the Whitechapel district. And then we will head back here to talk with Swansea and Thelma to let Thelma know that we handled her little problem. Have we been in here? No, we have not. Is that everything in here? Yes, looks like it. What's over here? Oh, neat. Wait, is that a place you can even get to from it? I'm getting sidetracked, but I think this is good sidetracking. This looks like a place you can't get to except through that. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's anything up here. That's for sure. But it also doesn't look like you can even get over here. So maybe this is an area used later. For an investigation or something, or a mission. Let's make our way back. Oh, we can go over here. Oh. And this gets us to the cemetery. It ain't human. Kill it. He's been bit. He's just standing there watching his friends die.
Oh, Christ! Watch it! It's a killer!
Sir, if you had maybe paid attention, your friends might have survived. Likely not, but just might have. But no, you just stood there, yelling, oh god, we're being killed. So soon, where are you? Why are you in this place? You nearly got eaten last time you were here. When I saved you, are you still here? Alright. Doing pretty good. We haven't tried our ultimate yet. Let's go ahead and do it. Blood Cauldron. It's doing a bunch of damage, and he died. Oh, he exploded into goo. So it's an ability that we kind of need to have everybody stay super close for if we want it to actually go off and work. We need to have them stay close to the target. Let's loot this guy. Shotgun shells. There she is. Ma'am? Not safe.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
Sadness can be a terrible trap. It can entangle you and weaken your heart if you let it control your thoughts.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease. It can take the strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure. no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Yes, goodbye for now, Xiaoxun.
Goodbye for now.
Alright.
So many new graves.
That's that. Time to head back to the Pembroke. We'll take that shortcut. Really don't feel like fighting too much. Guess we'll fight these guys since they're in the way. Go. That's that guy. Head over here. This way. Jump over here. Over here. Here, and we're almost back. Wee. It's actually really fun. Alright. There she is. There. What the freak happened? Okay. Oh! The angry lady be dead. Who dead? It's the angry lady. That who?
My blood and soul.
Jonathan, my sincere condolences for your loss.
Your kindness is much appreciated, my lady.
Is there anything you require?
Are we condemned to attend the funerals of all we love?
Dying is the final act of life, Jonathan. Present company excluded. Accepted.
I don't know what to expect. Am I cursed to an eternity of solitude?
With time, we Ekon tend to go into isolation. If we survive long enough, that is.
As a practitioner of the medical sciences, I'm prepared for the death of loved ones. But mourning in the shadows, deprived of sharing one's grief.
We are no longer a part of the circle of life and death. We are undead, my friend, and so we are outcasts.
I spied my mother at the funeral. Have you ever revealed yourself to a member of your family?
No, Jonathan. And I'd advise you even from thinking about it.
But what if I was close to someone and wished to tell them the truth?
Fear, loathing, disgust. And then they will plead to be turned. They will see it as salvation. Then there's the risk of gaining the attention of vampire hunters.
Are we then condemned to lie to those we love?
We are creatures of deception, my friend. But this is more for their sake than ours.
Goodbye, my lady. Until we meet again.
So she died, and it doesn't seem like there's
continues.
anybody to talk to about it. Let's talk to
Good
Thelma
evening,
real
Miss
quick.
Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes, and it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
No, you are deluded. You think you crave blood, but you have no physical need for it. You have no idea what that is like.
But what am I feeling? It cannot only be in my head. I know my flesh is rotting. I feel it. It disgusts me.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
What your last thoughts would be, sir?
So do I not need to tell her that it's done? Oh, I have to find the local command post. Let's go ahead and track that, just so I can see it on the map at some point. Let's go talk to...
too much energy for so little result.
Yeah, let's go talk to Swansea. Sounded like somebody was shouting.
We are ours. God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCullum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned.
Fine, for your carpet. I won't bite his neck off.
By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Rest assured, I will protect you and your staff.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Alright. Looks like we have to go hunt down Sean Hampton now.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Oh yeah, that is true. I never talked to him here. That might have been a mistake. Alright, first thing we're gonna do, loot this.
Good evening, Dr. Tip.
Doctor...
No.
Goodbye, Doc.
We're going to loot this. There we go. We're going to loot that. We're gonna go handle this local pre-win command post, take it out for the investigation, and then we're gonna go head over to the docks, where Sean Hampton is from. Alright. Silence! I kill you. Language. Time for a snack. There we go. That's them dealt with. Now up to the command post, which should be this way. Through this door, which was locked previously. I think it was, if I remember correctly. There we go. Or, no, this place wasn't locked before. It was here, and I already explored it, because this is where we got the used pre-win stake, I think. Yeah, this is where we got the used pre-win stake. Oh. New collectible, though. Hip hip. Alright. Let's go return to Thelma. Maybe see about finding someone named Louise. Get them together. And we'll have an unstoppable team. But we'll talk with Thelma as well as we'll go talk with the two soldiers. See if we can find any hints or clues about them, get some extra XP from them. In fact, let's actually check out this community. We have 2 hints for them missing, 1 hint for him. We have all of the hints for Strickland, 1 for him, 2 for him, 1 there, 4 here, 3 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 2 there, 1 there, 3 there, 3 there. So yeah, let's work on some talking to people, trying to get some more hints, XP, stuff like that, before we end this episode, because in the next episode we're going to be heading over to the docks and we'll have a bunch of people to talk to anyway.
Good evening,
Dr. Reed, any...
Need hints required for those.
What will you do after your resignation? Do you have a plan?
I always fancied visiting Cyprus.
Oh,
such a beautiful
going over to
island.
Greece, eh?
I could buy a house there, by the sea, read poetry, and wait for death.
Actually, no. That's Crete I'm thinking of. Cyprus is by... No, Cyprus is by Greece, right? I'm really rusty on my geography. I think Cyprus is near Italy. Which is also technically near Greece.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
But either way, my geography is really crappy.
Perhaps I should have...
Alright.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Milton, got anything new,
I'd like to...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Not really. Anything we can sell? A watch, we want to recycle that. And we want to recycle all that. Let's sell the bottles of alcohol, though. And there's nothing.
They know we are overwhelmed.
Well, what if I talk to him about
Good evening,
recent,
Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
recent events?
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
Someone killed Miss Jones in her room, and Mr. Hampton's gone missing. Doesn't take a genius to piece it together.
You don't seem shocked by any of this.
Why should I be? Whoever did this must be long gone by now. And besides, he got rid of the old bag.
Goodbye, Milton.
Alright, so that's Milton. Nothing new from him.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
We've already talked with Ashbury recently. Let's talk with Brannigan.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
No. Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Nothing there. We'll talk with Thelma.
You are going to reveal all your secrets to me. Even the...
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor.
Is there anything you can tell me about the recent commotion here?
Many things can happen under cover of night, Dr. Reed. But I took no part in this massacre.
But did you see or hear anything?
I can't say I did. But the smell of fresh blood almost made me faint, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you.
Alright. Haven't
Good
talked
evening,
to you
Mr.
in a
Elwood.
while.
Evening, Doctor.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans. And it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Beauty is not everything, Mr. Elwood.
Says Mr. Pretty Face.
Okay, sorry. Damn.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
And it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Time has lost its effect on
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now.
Alright, so we failed his other hint.
could be sick again.
Let's talk with Pippa.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins, but are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I must do.
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he share your point of view?
For Milton, any change means more comfort and more peace. I disagree.
If you feel that saving lives is not useful enough, perhaps it means that you've lost faith.
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger. Maybe we are all just too proud to face up to the fact that science cannot compete with God.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Alright. That's done talking with her. Let's talk with Ackroyd.
I'm quite busy, right?
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverly?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. but I deserve this promotion, and I don't consider it anything but well-earned.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Thank you for your...
Alright. Next, let's go talk with Strickland.
Never could keep anything from her.
Hey, Strickland.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Alright, let's talk with him.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Let's talk with these two.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice. It's not the flu or anything life-threatening. What has you so worried?
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as possible.
He's not out of the woods yet, you know. He might need to stay here longer than expected.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious patients. I worry my poor Mortimer will be neglected.
Good evening, sir.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest. If it was up to me, I would have left this place long ago. I know I don't belong here.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
I have to go.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Is everything that we can talk to him about. How long have we been going? About an hour. Alright, we're gonna go talk to the two veterans, and then we're gonna call the episode there. We also need to talk to him.
Hey, Doc.
To Clay.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have been wounded.
A lucky charm? I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be really grateful.
A grateful Clay Cox?
I might just find your knife and bring it back to you to see that happen.
I can give you directions, but I'll be surprised if you manage to find it. My hideout isn't meant to be found easily.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Alright, so that's done with talk.
Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher is safe, for now.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor. We were total strangers and you helped us anyway. Can't thank you enough, sir.
Personal.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
They started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
Why do you stay here now that Mr. Thatcher's back?
It's complicated. Since the war, Oswald's been really nervous with the idea of entering any hospital. And me, I've got my own issues.
Can you speak about them?
Rats, sir. Even seeing one, they turn me. Just want to run. It's that fear that stopped me from going after Oswald when he left.
What can you tell me about the war, Mr. Blight? If you want to speak about it, of course.
War was... well, you know, sir. The stench of death everywhere. Your mates lying bleeding in the mud. Just praying to make it through and get home. Bloody nightmare.
I fought in France, too. I served as a field surgeon, but it was not uncommon to repel an assault, especially at night.
Yeah. The first time I was wounded, I had to protect the infirmary from hostiles. Twice.
Did you know Oswald Thatcher before the war?
No. We met in the battlefield. I think we're in the same boat to France. We've stuck together ever since.
Really sucks that back then and even now, medical personnel are high priority targets in situations
Goodbye,
like
Mr.
that.
Blight. Take care of yourself.
and stuff like that just really sucks, honestly. Alright, let's give this
Hello
guy
again, Mr. Thatcher.
his treatment.
Do you feel any better now?
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog shit and reek of piss, but to me it smells like the purest mountain air.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
I'm certain you have your reasons, but let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked your life to save me, after all. It would be impolite to refuse your counsel.
Alright. Gave him treatment.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Why did you run? What was the reason for your argument?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't stand being closed in. It makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Alright.
Mr. Thatcher, do you have a job?
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about was their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted in a specific event. Perhaps it would help to talk about it.
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my case.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during a shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on, please. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. Oh, the terror, the shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have completely destroyed weaker men.
It did not destroy Newton.
Shameful thoughts. Tell me about them.
At some point, I don't remember which day, but when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end, I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher. If you ever want to heal, you have to say it.
Yeah, I thought about what I could do to survive. Just for a few more days. I thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like you to create change.
Courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the face every day. I speak plain. I speak my mind.
Have you always been this straightforward?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only regret was I wouldn't be able to hold or kiss Newton again. I love him, that's all.
Alright, so
Goodbye,
that's
Mr. Thatcher.
everything we can get from him, but we did get new hints for Newton. Where'd Newton run off to? Over there.
We were supposed to be safe. Oh, what a fucking joke.
Alright. So, one last conversation with Newton, and then we'll call the episode
Hello
here.
again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. You doing your rounds as usual?
How do you feel about Oswald Thatcher? You are more than friends, aren't you?
I love him. I love Oswald. We knew we wouldn't survive the war without each other. But I am terrified, Doctor.
What frightens you so much?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm ashamed, but it ain't that. It's more, well, you know, I never thought I'd love a man.
Enjoy your love. And enjoy life as long as you can, Mr. Blight. Don't let anyone tell you who you should love or how you should love them.
I appreciate your kind words, sir. But it ain't that easy. It's all so new to me.
You and Oswald were buried alive during the war. Tell me about it.
Yeah. It was last summer. A shell hit our trench and we were buried for a week.
Oswald seemed far more traumatized than you by the event.
It wasn't the first time it happened to me. And surviving it again gave me strength. You believe that?
How did you survive for a week?
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel. It was an outpost, see? Since then, Oswald's not keen on being inside for too long.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight. Take care of yourself.
Alright. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, comment your suggestions.
I cannot enter.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.